You've probably been told your entire life that budgeting is about saying no. No to fun, no to being spontaneous, no to the things that really make you happy. It's like a financial diet that leaves you feeling starved, always fighting the cravings, and then feeling like a total failure when you cheat. You track every penny, you categorize every expense, and you still end up feeling drained, restricted, and wondering where all your money went and your happiness went too. But what if everything you've been taught about budgeting isn't wrong? What if a budget could actually be your permission to finally say yes to the life you want? In this video, I'm going to share the mindset shift that took me from feeling trapped by my budget to feeling totally empowered by it. I'll show you how to build a budget that feels less like a cage and more like your launch pad. Let's be real for a second. The word budget just feels heavy, doesn't it? It makes you think of spreadsheets with angry red numbers, telling your friends you can't go out, or adding something to your online cart and then closing the tab with a heavy sigh. We've been conditioned to see budgeting as an exercise in scarcity. It's always about what you can't do, what you can't have, but what you have to sacrifice. I lived this way for years. I had the color-coded spreadsheet, the strict categories, and that sinking feeling every time I had to log an unplanned expense. I still remember declining a last-minute weekend trip with one of my friends, a trip we could have afforded, but because it wasn't in the budget, I said no. I spent that weekend at home scrolling through their happy photos, feeling responsible, but also deeply miserable. My budget was working, but was it making my life smaller? I was saving money, but was I losing joy? The problem with this whole approach is that it frames your financial life as a battle against yourself. It pits your responsibility size against your desire for happiness. And in that fight, nobody wins. You either stick to the miserable plan and feel deprived, or you rebel, overspend, and then get crushed with that feeling of guilt. It's a toxic cycle of shame and restriction, and it's no wonder so many of us give up on budgeting completely. The turning point for me was realizing a simple truth. A budget is not a cage, it's a financial GPS. Its job isn't to limit you, it's to guide you toward the destination that you want, the destination that God has placed in your heart. Think about it like this. When you use a GPS, you don't get mad at it for telling you to turn left. You trust it because you're the one who plugged in the destination, so of course it can't go wrong. An empowering budget does the same thing for your money. You set the destination, whether that's a debt-free life, a down payment on a house, or a trip around the world. The budget is just a tool. It's just a tool that shows you the best route to get there, $1 at a time. That one little shift, it changes everything. It reframes budgeting from an act of restriction to an act of empowerment. You're no longer being told to no because you're in the driver's seat making conscious choices about your money. The voice in your head starts to change. It's no longer, I can't afford to eat out. It becomes, I'm choosing to put that money toward my vacation fund instead because that experience matters more to me right now than eating out. Suddenly, you are no longer a victim of your budget. You're the architect of your financial life. Every dollar you earn is a building block, and you get to decide what you want to build with that building block. So, how do we actually do this? It all comes down to three pillars that turn your budget from a depressing rule book into a roadmap filled with joy. Pillar one, give every single dollar that comes into your hand a job, but make some fun. Make it fun. This is the heart of zero-based budgeting, but with a joyful twist. At the start of the month, you give every single dollar that comes into your hand a specific purpose, so your income minus your planned spending, it equals zero. But here's the game changer. Spending doesn't just mean bills and gas. It includes your savings goals, your debt payments, and most importantly, your joy. This forces you to be proactive instead of reactive. Instead of wondering where your money disappeared, you tell it exactly where to go from the start. You are the boss of your money. Your money is not the boss of you. So ask yourself, what do you actually care about? What truly brings you joy? Is it trying a new coffee shop every Saturday? Is it buying books whenever you feel like it? Taking an online course that sparks your curiosity? Sister, whatever it is, make it a line item in your budget. Your joy is not an afterthought. It's a planned, prioritized expense. By assigning your dollars to what you value, you're not just managing your money, but you're also funding your happiness. Pillar number two, build your permission to spend fun. This is how we kill the guilt once and for all. Create a category in your budget called a joy fund, guilt-free spending, or my favorite, a permission to spend fund. This is a set amount each month that you can spend on anything you want, no questions asked. That fancy dinner, a new outfit, an impulse buy at Target. You decide. If the money's in your permission to spend, you have full permission to buy it without a shred of guilt. And why? Because you planned for it, so it gives you permission to spend. That spending isn't a failure, it's a part of your plan. When you feel constantly restricted, every little desire can feel like rebellion just waiting to happen. But when you know you have a dedicated fund, the pressure is off. You feel relieved. You can enjoy what you buy because that money's job was to make you happy in the first place. It's the ultimate antidote to that shame spiral. Pillar number 3, personalize it or it will perish. There's no such things as a one-size budget fits all. Anyone who tells you otherwise is just selling you a fantasy. The reason so many budgets fail is because they're just too rigid and they're not realistic. They don't account for your life, your income, or your values. Maybe the 50-30-20 rule doesn't work for you because your rent is 55% of your income. That does not mean you fail. It means you need a different system. An empowering budget adapts to your life, not the other way around. It should feel supportive, not like a rule book written by a stranger, because it's yours. Your categories should reflect what's actually important to you. If your dog is your world, maybe you have a doggy spa day category in your budget. If you love woodworking, maybe a workshop supplies fund may be a line item in your budget. Your financial plan should be as unique as you are. Whether you use an app or just a simple notebook, the power is in the personalization. Now let's talk about making it stick, what I call the joyful review. Stop thinking of your budget review as a moment of judgment. Start seeing it as a money date. This isn't about scolding yourself for what went wrong. It's about reflection and celebration. Pour yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Open your budget and look at your spending with curiosity, not criticism. Ask yourself, where did my money bring me the most joy this month? Was that a subscription? Was it really worth it? That dinner I bought for a friend, how did that actually make me feel? When you connect your spending to your real experiences, you start to see money not just as numbers, but as a resource that fuels your life. And always celebrate your wins. Did you hit a savings goal? Then that's awesome. Did you stay on track with those groceries? Give yourself a high five. Did you spend your joy fund on things that made you genuinely happy? That's a massive success, and give yourself what? A pat on the back. That is what will keep you going. If this mindset shift from restriction to empowerment resonated with you, please do me a favor. Give this video a like. It tells that old algorithm that more women need to hear messages like this. And if you want more ways to build a financial life that actually feels good, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the next coming episode. Now for your first act of intention, drop a comment below and tell me one thing you're going to prioritize in your joy fund this month. Is it going to the movies? I would love to see what brings you joy. For too long, we believed that financial responsibility has to feel like a punishment. Not anymore. We were taught that joy is frivolous and budgeting is all about cutting back and cutting out. But the truth is, a good budget doesn't drain you. It energizes you. It empowers you. It's not about restriction. It's about intentionality. When you give every single one of your dollars a job, give yourself permission to spend on joy and design a plan that uniquely is for you. Money stops being a source of stress and becomes a tool, the tool that it actually is for creation. You have the power to design a life you love. Your budget isn't the obstacle, it's the blueprint. And please remember this, joy and wisdom can coexist. You can be disciplined and delighted. You can save wisely and yet live freely. So go ahead, build a budget that reflects who you are, not out of fear, but out of faith, purpose, and joy. Because the moment you give your money meaning, you'll start to rediscover yours. Try it and see. Just try it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.